All right, so we're starting. So,
Start.
hey everybody, my name is David Lotherington. I am a channel, a, a telepath, an energy healer, an Akashic Records reader, and a medium. This is Elise. She will be asking some questions today to whoever chooses to come through. And we're going to get as much information as we can on whatever topics that we think is relevant to a direction that would bring greater understanding to channeling and just how does channeling work and a lot of different other questions. So she's taken the reins on the questions and we're just going to see what direction they take, okay? So I'm going to enter the channeling state and a being is going to speak through me and Elise is going to ask that being some questions so that we can hopefully share some understanding with you guys so you can grasp better what is actually going on during the process. And just if any information comes forward, it will be good to know and share and understand. So, hey. Okay, so I am going to bring through a being and we're going to get started, okay?
Okay.
All right. Ah. Very good. Greetings. I am Kelsi-ol. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, it is wonderful to be in your presence and this environment as well. Greetings.
Hello. So, we'd like to know first, you are from the Yahyel?
Yes, this is my collective connection. And so we express the opinions of many of Yael. We cannot say all, but we will say of a collective of Yael. And so this is our expression to you.
All right. So, it's more than one of you?
Yes, we are conjoined within a collective cloud, we might say, to express this information towards you so that you may have greater understanding of us as a race, us as an individual, and us as a collective as well.
All right. So, are the collective minds involved in answering these questions consciously aware that they are channeled or being channeled by a human on Earth?
Yes, we are fully aware of the connection.
Very nice. And what is your dimension you reside in?
We reside in the fourth and also some in the fifth dimension, as you know.
Is this in a specific planet? Is it a planetary experience?
We are experiencing a collective consciousness on this planetary collective level, yes, but we also experience individuality. But we do have a collective consciousness, which one can tap into to collect information on records and things of such natures.
So you do live, you specifically, your consciousness or the groups that you are, you live in bodies, in biological bodies on a planet?
Yes.
And what is the name of the planet?
We do not know if this is accessible from human dimensional plane.
Okay.
We
I
are
said you could
testing.
not access that planet, see it, or find it?
We are just searching now if this is available for your viewing, potentially. No. As we are in another dimension, this is not accessible, nor is it visible through your spectrum of, we will say, lens. And if you were to enter the fourth dimension in our particular wavelength and frequency, then yes, we would be available to view you, or you would be able to view us, we should say. And then we could give you a more specific answer as to direction of our planetary body.
All right. How long have you been in the fourth dimension?
Our species was, we will say, born into the fourth density. Yes. We have been in third density through soul aspects and things of this nature, but primarily the Yahyel, we will say as a blanket statement that we work within the fourth and the fifth densities. So we are fourth and fifth density beings living in this experience, and this is what perspective we will share unto you.
What do you look like?
Well, are you referring to me as an individual?
Yes. What is one person, male or female? Do you have gender?
Yes, we have gender. We have the male and female and neutral gender.
Neutral gender. Does it have both?
The neutral gender has, it is a role that is chosen by some on our planet for a supporting role rather than a role of one that is taking part in such creation of beings. So it plays more of a supporting role rather than taking part in a direct role in that regard.
So that means that you do make love, excuse me, you do make love to reproduce and have other beings be born.
Yes, this is true. And in order to, we will say, make love, what we do is more on a, we will say, consciousness level. As we integrate our consciousness with other consciousness and the collective consciousness of our family, we will call them, which is quite large, then we create a being, a soul, and then the physical vessel is created through conception.
So it's not a physical action like it is for us?
It is both.
Okay. And that comes with, that is a, let's say, an upgraded version of what we look at as sex in our dimension?
Well, upgraded, we do not want to put ourselves on a platform. But we will say that our connection runs very deeply on a spiritual level, and that through telepathy, one can satisfy many different plateaus of urges and connection, therefore increasing the capacity, perhaps this is not the best term, we increase the limit of affection that one can experience through telepathy and also through the physicality, as we have many methods of, we would say, tantric, as you understand. This is how we connect energetically.
Okay, so in a more conscious, energetic energy, you understand that sex is an energy exchange, not just a physical need to be met.
Yes.
All right, very interesting. I'm looking forward to that at some point. So how do you have access to information like what you have now? You are able to come in by being summoned essentially by David's consciousness or spirit. How does it work when you come in and you have access to all this infinite amount of information? Can I ask you a complex mathematical question that David would not know and you would answer it?
You may ask if you wish. How would you like us to address the question?
Yes.
Well,
yes, please.
Very well. We connected to an aspect of David's consciousness that reached out to us. we accessed this and followed the wavelength here. So we found ourselves in a circumstance of understanding, of exchange of energies. And so through this exchange, we will give and we will receive, both learning, healing, love, and expression through him, and we will exchange this to you and to him and to those who are watching. Yes.
Okay. And so essentially he can have access, maybe not remembering after he's not, I'm not talking to you anymore, when he returns. If he were to say something very complex that maybe he himself doesn't know, but you said it to me through him, could this happen? Could you say very complex things that he does not understand?
At this time, it is limited to the understanding of clarity through the channel. And as blockages are removed, the increasing clarity is increased. Now, at this time, this channel is not the most perfected channel, we would say. It is somewhat of a channel in construction, we will say. But for this time, and this level of clarity is perfectly fine.
Okay. That is all very interesting. Maybe I do have a mathematical question to ask. I didn't write one down, but I will look for one. Could you, let's see. Can you read, do you have access to David if he's not summoning you? Like this, can you only come through, like how does it work when he is trying to communicate with you? Is it like a ring that goes off in your consciousness where you live?
Just as you receive a spontaneous message from your guides, we will say, through perhaps for you, it is in, we will say, perhaps a song comes into your mind space. This song comes from somewhere. And this song may come from another being. It may come from another soul. It may come from your higher consciousness. One does not quite know unless one is trained in such vibrational concepts. So, as this happens, David received consciousness and expressed its desire to connect with one who is of certain criteria, which we came forward to express. So, like a song heard through the mind, we heard David's call. So we came forward to express our gratitude and expression to you.
I love it. Thank you for answering that.
Yes.
Okay, so I assume that you guys have free will.
Yes, very much.
Okay, what do you know which dimension you cease to have free will?
Cease to have free will.
Well, okay, in my understanding, free will is a understanding that you are one with everything, therefore there's nothing to choose away from. So is that accurate?
When one's understanding of free will is fully understood, one understands that one agrees in, we were say, before engaging in physical construction, before one obtains a physical body, the nature of one's life. And this expression of life, this expression of experience is placed into the understanding of what will come in this life. With this expression of understanding, one can see what one will express. And this is free will. We have free will to choose the bodies that we choose to incarnate into. We have free will to choose the lives that we experience and will experience, and the friends that we will meet, and the experiences that we will have, and the love we will be able to express. And in this way, we have free will, yes.
Okay. Do you experience, is there a lot of duality in your planet? Do you experience war?
We do experience darker aspects of polarity, but we do not experience such as you do on this planet. As we are in fourth and fifth density, we will say our consciousness is at a higher plane of understanding. And as we have gone through many of these levels of discipline through our past, we might say, we will say that we have experienced such things already. So we are moved forward into a new density, which does not quite, although it does have denser energies, it does not, we do not need to experience these experiences if we choose not to.
So there's not a lot of what we consider suffering in your planet, in your world, in your experience.
Yes, one is able to do what one desires as long as it is of the highest collective good. And so we have free will to do as we wish, so to speak, as far as profession, as far as who we love and who we wish to express our gratitude towards. We will say that in life there are many options and choices that one can make. And as a telepathic community, we express our desire and it is met quickly, as all of the others around us have similar understanding of what we desire. And so they do what they can to satisfy that desire, as we all wish to experience helping others. So therefore, we experience a more positive reality.
So there is a collective understanding that you are all one, and that any decision that one makes affects the whole. There is that collective understanding between all of you already as a planetary system in species.
From time to time, there are individuals that are limited in their understanding. And these individuals do, we will say, experience some form of separation. Now, this separation is an opportunity for everyone else that is not separated, as it provides us with the ability to provide for one that is in need. And through this, we are able to express ourselves and help ourselves grow and develop as we help others.
How is your government system set up? Do you have a governing system?
We apologize. Please continue.
No, go ahead.
We have a governing system, one might say, a collective group of energies who chooses what direction our consciousness collectively will move towards, and will help and assist in the development of such areas. So we do not share government in the same regard as you do, but we do have a direction that our collective moves towards. And in this way, we are regulated by the government, we will say.
Okay. What is what is an example of a career choice that you guys have in your planet?
This is a very good question. Some of us choose to express communications and learn the collective knowledge of other species. Some of us choose to fix things that are broken. Maybe they are not just engineers or mechanics or doctors or psychologists, but they choose to fix things. And so they choose to fix things of all natures, not just of the mind or of the body or of the vehicle, you might say. Now, others choose to, we will say, like Earth, study flowers or flora and fauna. Some prefer just flora, some prefer just fauna. But it is the expression of life and growing and expansion that they are studying. Many times our individuals have interesting passions, and some are passionate about combat. For example, how does one fight? Why does one fight the way that they do? Are they aggressive? Are they defensive? Why do they act this way? And in this understanding, they find more about themselves. Why do they act this way? And why does their opponent act this way? Therefore, collecting information on their consciousness and helping them move through their development in this way. So one can go about development in many different ways, whether it is through studying flowers or studying martial arts or studying vehicles, we might say, or fixing things. So in this regard, this is how we learn and develop.
So not too far away from how we're doing it, yet you seem, is it like an awareness? Is the individual aware that maybe their desire for combat is like, does it make them go inside and be that self-aware that it is a learning process about who they are? Is everybody aware of this?
As we mentioned before, as a telepathic community, we share our expressions of understanding with each other. We grow quite fast as a collective consciousness because of this, because everything is shared. And if one person knows something, then many others also know the same thing. And this goes for if there is someone who is sick within our community, who do not experience a whole lot of, we will say, this is one becomes aware that this individual is sick quite quickly. And all of us become aware that they require help. So we send energies to this weak link, one might call it. And so we are able to raise the bottom of, we will say, the bottom rung of the ladder, so that the ladder is very high and there is no anchors, we will say, to hold us down.
So maybe you guys don't experience a lot of shame or separation in between masses. Everybody is in the same plane as far as like opportunity, social class, and the ability to have a beautiful life.
We all experience, we will say, we all experience love and gratitude, but there are those who do experience forms of separation. And those individuals who do not experience connectivity as we do, they, as we stated before, provide the opportunity for others to rise above and to grow in consciousness, but they also will find their place amongst the collective consciousness eventually, as they are being helped by many, many, many individuals around them, and also by the collective consciousness, which they are not a part of.
Because they are telepathic and they can hear everybody else's information. So I would think that with the access to somebody else's wisdom, especially emotional wisdom, about how things work, they would evolve. It would help them let go of whatever it is very painful in their hearts.
Yes.
Or it helps them unravel quicker, I would say.
Much faster, yes. As if you imagine everyone is a psychic, we will say this word because many people understand this word, but many individuals are hypersensitive to energetic fields, and disturbances of the slightest nature of this field we feel. And if it is slightly uncomfortable for us to experience this field, then we choose to heal that field. So if there is an individual that is sick, or an individual that is disconnected, or an individual that does not quite fit in, we will fix this.
Wow. And is it ever at does the individual that need the help understand and take the help when they need it? Is it always welcome?
No, it is not. But
is it forced?
It is not forced. But there is such a large group of beings that intervene, we will say, the term intervention comes to mind, that the being quickly comes to understanding that they are in a moment of separation, and that this moment, to experience the greatest happiness, the greatest excitement of their incarnation, they should be connected to the collective. And so we are not a hive mind, but we are highly connected, and we are not like the Borg of a human program, a Star Trek program, yes, and where one must be assimilated into the collective, but because we do have individuality in this regard, and we are not augmented beings in that regard. But we will say that we do help our loved ones, and we care deeply for them, and they understand how much we care for them, as they still do have some telepathic capabilities, even though they are disconnected from the collective.
Are all of you able to communicate with higher dimensional beings, let's say from the angelic realms, or like David does? Is everybody on your planet able to connect with information and beings from other planets and other realms?
There is a limitation to some individuals, depending on their collective conscious experience, we will say. There are limitations in our government that prevent us from accessing certain layers. The angelic realm is accessible to some of our higher vibrational components, we will say, our priests, one might say. They have access to higher echelons, higher tiers and octaves and things, terms of such nature, uh, in consciousness. But there are individuals, like we mentioned before, that are disconnected, and they do not have access to these planes of understanding, these planes of greater good, collective Christ consciousness, and things of such nature. We will
Do they
say
know that it exists? Excuse me. Do they know, do these beings, let's say a person who is disconnected, that has never been told that they could access or communicate with higher dimensional beings, or tap into that, do they know they can naturally, or do they have to be told or taught?
This is a good question. We experience this learning while in school. We experience the development of quantum consciousness and quantum fields through school. And it is a basic understanding in our collective school unit, we will call it for now, as our understanding, our definitions are limited in this format. But it is well known for our community that a higher consciousness exists. Many of us have memories of past lives, parallel lives, timelines, and things of such nature.
So it is a developed skill that you can encourage to develop further, and those who are open can tap in more.
Yeah.
Not than how we do it.
And those, because many of the collective are able to see those who express higher forms of consciousness, we are able to choose those who are best suited to politics, who are best suited to governmental positions, who are best suited to priest roles, we will say.
So speaking of government, do you feel like, because I mean, I don't know how much you know about humanity, but I'm guessing you do know some, we don't necessarily trust our leaders. We think that the most unconscious people on the planet are the ones ruling the planet. There's definitely some individuals who are very, very advanced and who want the best for the planet, who want to get involved and are trying and are involved, but most in the thick of the running of the show are the most unconscious, especially disconnected from their hearts. And so what are your leaders like? Is your planet and your realm ruled by highly conscious, worthy beings of power?
Yes. Those who do not, how will we put this? We wish to choose a phrase that will be inspirational for many of you. Those who seek power do not deserve power. Those who do not seek power but would use power to help someone in need deserve power.
So the ones who are not seeking it are the ones who are probably given the responsibility to help out with specific things, let's say government positions. And
we will say those who have a great desire to help others with, we will say that. And we will also say that those who have a great desire to help others and could help others better with some power will receive this power.
Wow, okay, so you guys give power. So the government is made of beings who essentially deserve it because they will do the best for the whole.
Yes.
Wow. Can I move in with you?
We understand your expression. Yes, you are experiencing a dark reality on Earth at this time.
Very dark, but moving forward for sure.
Yes.
So what is your, do you have a religion?
We have an understanding.
An understanding about how things work, and hence that's where your priest come for?
Yes. Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what that role is like. What is a priest in your planet?
Oh, very, very good question. A priest is one who has a higher collective knowledge and understanding of not just past lives, but the quantum fields and awareness around them. They have the ability to connect deeper on a deeper level with individuals in crisis. They are able to go to the darker layers and experience this and bring it forward so that they may heal and they may help heal others. Our priests have a variety of roles. Primarily, it is connection to higher energy beings and bring their knowledge down so that we may access it as a collective. And this is the role of our priest.
Very amazing. Is there a place, like, you know, we have churches and we have temples here for connecting to the divine, and is that how it works? Is that how it works there?
We will say that on our planet there are nodal points. And all these nodal points, there are temples built, if you wish to call them temples. There are geometric structures which are formatted within a geometric shape, which is conducive of collecting and gathering these energies of the planetary body. And then they are focused and redirected and collected so that a priest, if you wish to call it, which is term which we choose for now, then these energies can be used by the priest to access higher dimensional layers. It helps them remove the barriers between the layers, which allows them higher ability to connect to higher vibrational beings, which may otherwise be inaccessible, or one may experience some turbulence when accessing higher layers.
So essentially, the way that the building is set up, is built, maybe the material also,
Yes.
it all becomes a physical channel, clearer channel to access information from the ethers.
The ethers, yes.
Well, everything that exists, all different dimensions.
We understand, yes.
Okay. And are these buildings made of specific material?
Yes.
Stone?
Crystals.
Crystals. Do we have those crystals on Earth?
No, we do not. There have been some on the planet in the past, but these crystals have been collected by individuals on your planet and stored.
So that we do not create those channels?
Not necessarily. For those who say they have power to collect more things that make them more powerful.
Yes, I can totally understand that. So how do you suppose, so okay, if a human wanted to create a building of sorts in which they could go and connect, is this something that you could help with? You could help design by us speaking with you?
This is possible, yes.
You guys have the clearance to say, yes, I can give you this information?
We can
And
say angles, we can say dimensions, we can say length and width and height, yes.
okay. And you could guide someone within their understanding to build it as such that it would be connecting, very like a channel, like in your planet?
You would need to search the database to see the list of materials that are available on your planet to make something that is conductive of the energetic symbols and energy signals, we wish to say, on Earth first. But after this, we can create an energetic template and project that template to you so that you can create such devices yourself.
So when you say access to what we have available, is it like the moment that you are tapping into it, as right now, you can see all the information is available to you? It's like you pull it up and it's available to you, what we have?
Well, there are databases that we have.
Physical places you go to?
Repeat, please.
When you say databases, like accessible through your mind?
there is some information in the collective consciousness of sacred geometry and things of this nature, but individual knowledge on planetary bodies and the resources and elements that are naturally occurring on such planets is stored in database, we will call it.
And what, is it a physical place?
Yes, it is, yes.
Somewhere in your planet?
In many different places, like your computer, one might say.
Okay. Very interesting. What is the definition of like the biggest suffering in your planet?
Good question. The greatest suffering is one who is least connected, one who, emotional, because we understand that many of you are experiencing this. The greatest suffering is one who is surrounded by people that love them, but they are not aware that they love them, and therefore they feel alone. They're disconnected. They do not feel the connection with the one, with source, we will call it, with their friends, their guides, their team, angels, and other high vibrational or any vibrational beings. To be in a place of solitude is a scary thing. And we understand at this time, as you move through this time of limited connectivity to a higher source being, we will call it, it is a difficult time of incarnation because of this. Because you do not have telepathy, because you do not have connectivity, you feel isolated and limited. But when your understanding grows, when your consciousness becomes more aware, you grow in this understanding. And as you grow, you develop. And as you develop, you understand that you are not alone. And this is a beautiful moment.
I do. I have had many glimpses of that myself. Beautiful. How does it manifest in your planet when somebody is suffering? Does it manifest like it does here, like somebody lives alone and they maybe are not so healthy in their eating habits or self-love habits? Like, how does it manifest for you guys?
We are not one who has experienced such things, but we can search the consciousness base for this information. One who is suffering, one who is disconnected, we will say, experiences disruption within the physicality. Their body begins to deteriorate in different ways, not like ash body, which is falling apart. But we will say they begin to manifest things like arthritis, which you have on your planet. They begin to have joint issues and connective tissue malfunction, where a ligament may go out of place or a fiber of the muscle may be ripped, things of such nature, and they experience their discomfort. Many of them are very uncomfortable because they choose, although they are surrounded by those who love them, they choose to be alone, they choose to experience separation, and therefore we must respect this in some regard.
Yeah, everybody's in their own journey of understanding their connection to the divine. So you understand that and you respect it, but if it affects the whole, which of course it does, but if it's getting in the way of essentially how you guys are running things, then you get involved.
Yes, this is true. Or our governmental bodies, which are designed, we have individual groups on the planet. The lips of the channel are dry. One moment. Very well. We will say that we have groups of our consciousness, groups of individuals who are most interested in finding individuals that are experiencing trauma, experiencing suffering, and it is their chosen role to, as many of them are, you might say, psychologists. They wish to understand, experience, and know of consciousness and vibrational planes. And what is the lower spectrum of vibration like? They wish to know this. So they seek these individuals out. And in their understanding, their learning of this individual, they create friendships. And through this friendship, they create a bond. And through this bond, they create an understanding. And they help this individual connect further to the collective, even though the individual who is separate, it may not be aware of such a thing.
But it happens gradually, and just by getting involved, it might help this individual unravel and heal.
Yes.
So your government institutions who help these people, who keep at the peace, who make sure that everything is running smoothly, is more of like a healing group than it is a governing group?
We will say the group is formed to direct. It is formed to take the masses, the collective mass of knowledge and understanding and desire of the collective, and it is to direct it in a direction which serves the highest good of the most people. So in this way, they choose the direction of our collective consciousness and which way we will develop in the future, which schools are tailored to. We are experiencing some energetic disruptions, so we apologize. One moment. There is a field causing disruption. We will try to continue through this field and it may subside. Please continue.
Do you wear clothes?
Yes, we wear clothes. We wear uniforms designed to fit the format of our job, which we wish to perform best.
Is there creativity in how you dress? Is creative clothing not something that you guys express in your planet? How does creativity get expressed?
This is a better question.
Okay.
Many of us choose our garment which is best suited to optimize the function of our role. Depending on what we are doing, certain uniforms designed are better than others for functionality. Regarding creativity, we have many ways which we express our creativity. Some of us express creativity by mimicry, we will say one may study bugs. And through bugs, we understand geometric shapes. We understand strength and integrity of materials by looking at chitinous plating and things of this nature. We understand creativity is, we're trying to give you a concept of something that does not exist on Earth. We have a form of art where we create a psychic construct, and the most beautiful psychic construct will be put in the collective consciousness for everyone to experience and enjoy.
Wow.
Yes. This is very beautiful and a high honor to achieve the ability to create such a construct.
In a way, like a multidimensional philosopher?
We are all philosophers of some degree. We all have ability to access these philosophical understandings and points of direction towards looking at things with different perspectives. But there are those of us who practice things that exist on Earth, like poetry, like traditional art, putting materials on papers and other materials. So in this way, we are creative.
So you have living dwellings, homes, and buildings, or large places where people inhabit and work. What do they look like? Are they organic looking? Are they built in a way that they do not harm the planet?
We are as environmentally conscious as possible, as we'll bring back telepathy as an example again. But with telepathy, you are able to understand and feel the intentions of things around you. We're able to understand that a plant needs water, or it is burning in the sun. A plant can tell you things of this nature with strong telepathic bond. And this is just a small example of the understanding that one can gain through telepathy, but the energies of the planet can also communicate with you. And because of this, we are able to minimize our footprint, as you might call it, on Earth. And we do have individual dwellings. Our individual dwellings are in the shape of a dome. And this reduces and minimizes the amount of accumulated, we will say, skin. Yes, we will say skin. And there are many geometric shapes which we choose to design our buildings out of, and we can select from a variety of templates.
Are they physically built by your hands?
Yes, they are, yes.
What is the tallest structure you have in your planet?
Which measurement of
feet?
you wish to use?
How tall are you in feet?
I am 4 feet 3 inches tall.
Okay.
You wish to use feet?
And so what is the tallest structure in your planet in feet?
Approximately 70,000 feet units tall.
Okay. All built by you guys in your hands and machines that you built? Yes. These questions might seem a little silly, but I'm building a picture of for everybody listening. It's very profound to get access to information like this and to have perspective about our potential future. And so for you guys, do you guys have access to other beings physically? Are you allowed to have other beings visit you in your planet?
Yes, we are, but primarily the majority of beings that visit us are met outwards off of our planet, as not all of our individuals in our society and community desire to meet other races. Many of us are interested, but there is a neutral zone, you might say, that they can access us and are not required to go to the planet. This provides an option for those who do not wish to experience other beings. And this does exist, as there is war, and there may always be war in the universe. So on these neutral platforms, individuals that are interested in learning and gathering information from these other species go to these platforms, and where they can go and collect knowledge and things of such nature, they go and they learn from these experiences and individuals.
So there can be wars experienced on planets that are in the 4th or 5th dimension.
Yes.
I'm trying to understand, or we are all trying to understand, the difference in dimensions and in the idea of duality. So how does it work? When we are understanding that we're one with God, that's kind of what makes you raise and go higher in dimension. Yes? The closer you understand you are to everything?
We will say the closer you are in, there's a disruption. One moment. Ugh.
You just got bumped off.
What happened?
He said there was disruption. It's happened a couple of times.
Okay.
But it's been an hour.
Okay, cool. It didn't feel like an hour.
It did not. It felt like 5 minutes. That was very interesting, David.
I'm really glad that we were able to bring someone forward.
Like
Cool.
amazing details of a different species and how they run things. And
Sweet. I'm really glad everyone's going to get a chance to watch that. If you guys are interested, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to end it because I'm pretty tired. And if you have any questions, leave them below. And if you'd like me to do any channeling in the future, put some individuals that you'd like to have channeled, okay? And I'll do my best to bring them forward and bring some questions with you, okay? And yeah, in the future, I'd like to thank Elise for any questions that were asked. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.